application for a mini hydro. At that time, we were looking at the possibility of generating 1 megawatt of renewable energy power to supply the hospital. One of our regional hospitals is in this town, but it's a major agricultural area as well. Over the years, as they've been looking at the engineering study, they realized that this has a potential for 3 megawatts or more. They've studied the water flow over different periods of the season over the years. And as you can see, this is the dry season, and you can hear the water and you can see the water flow.
Where these rivers are, you also find a number of social services like schools, universities, colleges, health centers, hospitals that go without energy, but that need energy. So if we have them localized, like the Bankasoka case, then it will serve that community well in these areas that I've just mentioned. And the people also need energy even for their own livelihood. So I see that having these small units of hydropower stations will go a long way in addressing our energy deficiencies in the country as a whole.
Working with partner organization, Yumkela has helped to support innovative projects in the field of solar power.
Some of the time when you have too much rain, the normal solar panel does not take, but this one, regardless of the weather, yes, it charges all the time. Yes. When you put another 12 volts,
the Barefoot College in Sierra Leone enrolls illiterate and semi-literate women and trains them in solar engineering. The women used to be subsistence farmers, but now earn a living assembling household solar units in Port Loko district. These solar suitcases provide light for the community health workers as they travel in the region with no regular electricity supply. The solar light is much more powerful than light produced by mobile phones. Yumkela is worried that the village like his own will become ghost towns as their young people migrate to cities where they have access to energy and the benefits it brings.
The African population should hit 1.4 billion by 2030. We already estimate in the UN by 2025, 2030, over 60–70% of that will be urbanized. You see in Freetown, the people are leaving and coming into the city, even though it doesn't have regular electricity. Why? It's better to move to the capital than to stay in my village. You saw my village, and you saw the number of children. And a lot of these populations in Africa are very young. They vote with their feet. I try to convince African leaders that, look, to generate jobs and to ensure that, in fact, you have other population centers, not only the capital, you need to have facilities, infrastructure, energy systems in rural areas. Yes. Okay, sir. If any chance you give me a number, I will call them. So it's about change, and it's about possibilities. That it can happen. It can happen, and people's lives can be better. I hope I make a difference. We need to assure every Sierra Leonean, every person in Samu or Kitchum that yes, you can switch the light on. But if you cannot, you can have a solar lantern. You don't have to live in darkness. We can give the women cook stoves that are more efficient to reduce that indoor air pollution that kills them every day. Or in fact, make their children have extra light to study. Their classrooms, there's a library. Somewhere they get knowledge. They break away from poverty.
Let them know that sickness in our getting tired.
What I said to my people this afternoon, as you heard, say, I'm just demonstrating here what I'm preaching globally. I think it would be hypocritical of me to do all of these around the world, and people say, wait a minute, but what happened to your village in this process?
Yumkela passionately believes that Africa, with the right